Hello everyone. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first guide about porting 3D objects to Cyberpunk. In this particular case, we're going to be doing clothes. So, if you've been wanting to do your own clothing mods for Cyberpunk, this is going to explain it, how to do it from A to Z. I'm going to make it as noob friendly as possible. I will try my best to explain things, as clearly as I can. I'll try my best to make sure that even your grandma can understand it. Now, before we start, I want to say thanks to manavortex and a few other people from the WolvenKit modding Discord that have helped me figure all of this stuff out. I would have never been able to record this if they wouldn't help me, so huge thanks for that. I'm going to leave a link to that Discord in the description so that if you have any questions about this, you can you can go there, you can ping either me or some other guys who I'm pretty sure will be able to help you pretty quickly. Now, let's move on to the actual guide. First thing we're going to do is requirements to make your own mod. So the first thing you'll need is WolvenKit, which is the software that you're going to be working the most throughout this guide, and in general, throughout the creation of any mod. WolvenKit will be your main program that you will be working in. I'm not going to explain how to install WolvenKit. There's a lot of guides about that online that you can look up. I don't want to spend any time doing that. So just look up WolvenKit installation and you should be able to find something that will thoroughly explain how to install WolvenKit. Next up, you're going to need Cyberpunk. Obviously, the preview icon's missing for some reason here, but all of my files are here. So just make sure your game is set up correctly, your files, everything works. Before you actually start modding it. Next up, you're going to need Photoshop, or really any 3D any photo editing software. GIMP is fine. Basically anything kind of like Photoshop should be good enough. If you want Photoshop specifically, there is plenty of places you can get that at. You could obviously subscribe to Adobe, but that kind of sucks. I pirated mine. You can also pirate yours. I don't think it's that hard to find a pirated version of Photoshop, and I wouldn't feel bad about it either, because Adobe products are pretty much meant to be pirated. Okay, next you're going to need your body mesh. So it's going to be a resource file that you are going to be fitting your clothes to. If you want to use a body mod with your clothing mod, you might want to download a modders resource. Here you can see I'm using EBBRB. But if the resource doesn't come, if the body doesn't come with its own resource, you can always extract it with WolvenKit. I don't think it's not that difficult to do, really, but I have mine set up here already. So yeah, just make sure you have that prepared as well. Next, we're going to need Blender. Any version from 3.6 and up works. Some people prefer to stay on 3.6 because it's the later versions have some rigging issues for Cyberpunk specifically, but for the purpose of just making a simple clothing mod, you should be good enough using anything 3.6 and above. As of recording of this video, the latest version is 4.3, and we're also going to be needing the Blender add-on for Cyberpunk. This is 1.6, which supports 4.3 Blender. I'm not sure if it supports older versions, but I just recommend whenever you're watching this video, just download the latest version of Blender and the latest version of Blender add-on for Cyberpunk. I'm going to be leaving the links for all of that stuff in the description, so you don't have to go searching around for it. And finally, not finally, next, you're going to need your example mesh. Not example mesh, your mesh that you will be using in your project. Obviously, if you are watching this, you probably already have your mesh, or at least you have in mind where you're going to get that mesh. There's plenty of places where you can get them. You can get them on websites like Sketchfab. You can get them on. You can port them from other games. Well, I'm pretty sure you know where you're going to be getting yours. So make sure to have that prepared too. I'm going to be porting shoes. I found them on Sketchfab, a free model, just for an example. It should be pretty good. Next up, you are going to need Archivexl. So it's a mod that allows you to basically make your own custom item in the game, an item that won't be replacing any of the existing clothing items in the game, which is ideally what you want. So you're going to download this. You're going to download the requirements too, Red for ext, and you're also going to download Equipment EX, which is an inventory overhaul that is, I think, necessary for making clothing mods. It's extremely convenient to have it, so just download it. As well as all the requirements. Now, if you don't know how to install mods, I assume that you know how, but for those people that don't know, I'm going to show it real quick. So let's just head over to Archivexl, manual download. Make sure it's manual, don't use the mod manager. Okay, here is our file. Now you're going to go to Cyberpunk. If you have a shortcut set up, you can just press the second option here. I apologize, my system is in Russian, but I hope it's clear. You can just see what buttons I'm pressing and press the same. So you go here, you browse your files, they're here. If you have your game on Steam, I have mine on Steam, I just have a shortcut set up, but if you have it on Steam, you just go here, you find your game. You go to properties here, bottom button, third option here, local files, and you press browse local files, and you end up in the same folder as the one that I was just in. So you do that, you go to this folder, and you double click your archive. Make sure you have WinRAR or 7-zip installed. Something that can unpack zip and RAR files. And you just copy this, you choose this and you drop it here, and you should be good. And that's how installing 90% of the mods works, pretty much. I already have it installed, so I didn't drop them, but if you don't have it installed, you're going to have to do that too. Okay, now I think we can actually get started on the actual project itself. First things first, we're going to need a example project, also made by manavortex, by the way. Adding new items, which is going to give you this result, a Red Modern Wiki article that you're going to go to, and you're going to click this link over here. We're going to open it and download this. Okay, this is an example WolvenKit project that we're going to be using, that has already set up everything that's necessary for Archivexl mods. So this is really useful, and I'm going to show you how to set this up real quick. So now you're going to open your WolvenKit. Let's wait till it loads. Okay, it's loaded. and you are going to create a new project, okay? But first, before you do that, you're going to set up your folder for your new project. So I'm going to create a new folder here. I'm going to call it shoes, because I'm porting shoes, as I already told you. And now that you have that folder, you're going to create a new project. You're going to call it something like, the mesh that I'm using is actually Converse shoes, so I'm going to call it Converse. Yes, and I have already set up the folder here, so we're going to press create, and you can see here we have a clean, just an empty project, okay? And what we're going to do now is open this, go here, and you can see you have a source folder here. This is the folder that contains everything in your project. So you're going to go to the file by manavortex, and you're going to drag and drop the source folder here. Okay, we did that. Close this, and as you can see, our project now has a bunch of stuff in it. Now, you might ask me, like, what the fuck is this? This is like just a short mesh, and you would be right, but this is just a placeholder asset that that we are going to be using. I would say we're going to be replacing it, but we're kind of going to be doing that. We're going to be doing kind of a different thing. You're going to see it for yourself later on, okay? Now, first thing you have to do if you are importing let's say shoes, right? I'm going to do shoes, as I already told you, is first things first, let's go to this folder here, tutorial. We're going to clean this up later, but for now, just create a new folder in the tutorial folder. You see here, there's torso, because the short is for torso, but we're going to create a new folder. We're going to name it feet, okay? Because shoes goes on feet, obviously. So we have our project here, our folder, and what we need to do right now is we need to get a shoe mesh that we're going to be replacing, okay? Now, I know I said that we're going to be making a standalone item, but for now we're going to have to replace, we're going to have to replace a mesh from an original game, but in the end it's going to be a fully independent mesh, so don't worry about it. You're going to open your asset browser here. If you don't have this over here, you're going to press view, and you'll press asset browser right here. If it doesn't have this check mark next to it, just press it. It's going to appear in the right upper right corner here. In the item explorer, you're going to find some player shoes, okay? So you're going to type P, depending on what gender you're making your clothing mod for, you're going to search either PWA or PMA. So PWA stands for female and PMA stands for male. So we're going, I'm going to be making mine for female, so I'm going to search PWA_shoe, and just gonna find something here. Yeah, this works. High heels work. We're going to import this. Just double click it and import, okay? Now, what you need to do with this is you need to export. So you're going to go to Tools, Export Tool. You're going to refresh, and you are going to export your shoes that you just imported. It doesn't have to be these exact shoes, but make sure it has PWA in the name. It's about the same height as this, and it also and it also has two shoes, okay, not just one. So you export this, export selected, and you're going to scroll down over here, and you're going to find your shoes. Okay. Yes. So now you're going to open this folder, and you can see there's a GLB here, right? So we're going to extract this to our desktop or wherever you want, and we're going to start working in Blender. Okay. So let's open Blender, and now I'm going to show you how to install add-ons for Blender. Like, if you've never opened Blender, I'm going to try my best to explain how to do stuff in the software. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to go to File, Edit. You're going to go to Edit, you're going to go to Preferences, and you're going to click Install here, and you are going to find your Blender add-on, and you're going to click Install, and I already have it installed. You're going to click Install, and then you're going to find it in the list of your add-ons. You're going to press Search, and you're going to find it, and you're just going to hit a check mark, and it should start working. Okay. I'm going to hit Cancel because I already have it installed. Now, you import your shoes or basically any mesh that you have. You just press Import Cyberpunk GLTF. You go to Desktop, or again, wherever you have your mesh saved, then you import. You can see here we have them. Moving around is on middle mouse button. So zooming is scrolling, and zooming is scrolling, and moving around is middle mouse button. Moving around is Shift middle mouse button, and yeah, that's basically it. So right now you see this mesh here has an armature connected to it. Yeah, so it has a rig connected to it basically, and over here you can see there are some weight groups, and these are the weights that are responsible for how your mesh moves in the game, and we're going to have to transfer weights from this mesh to our mesh. So what we're going to do first though is also import our body so we can fit the shoes properly onto the feet. Okay. EBBRB here, import, and you can see we have a body that pretty much fits, not perfectly, it fits perfectly. Okay. There can be some clipping inside of Blender that does not occur in game, so there is like a slight difference, like a very, very subtle difference between the mesh in Blender and in game. But as long as you fit the mesh in Blender, it should be working in game as well. There shouldn't be any clipping. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to import our shoes. Again, I'm going to go here, and I think I pressed the wrong file format. They're in FBX, so whatever format your mesh that you're replacing with is, you're going to choose over here. Just find it. Mine is FBX. I'll go to desktop here, and I'm going to go to example mesh, source, shoes. Okay, you can see here they are. They're pretty small, but they're parented to this thing here, which I don't know what this is, honestly. I'm just gonna grab this, left click this, and I'm going to right click anywhere, and I'm going to go to parent and press clear parent. You can see they became huge, but that's okay. We're just going to adjust them now. You can delete this, don't need this. Let's adjust them, okay? So let's make sure they are they're actually rotated properly. So on the x-axis, you're going to type 90. Depending on how your shoes are, you're going to type 90. If your shoes are already aligned, you don't really have to do all this. You can just align them manually. You can do it like this, but I prefer to not eyeball it. Just do 90. This is universal. This is not universal. Your mesh is going to be different. Going to type 180 here, and you can see everything is fine. Now we have to scale this down to actually fit on our feet. So you can either press S, just hold S and move your mouse. This is going to scale them down, or you can choose this tool. You can press the button here and just drag it down. It works all the same. Let me zoom in here, and you see they're a bit too close, but that's fine. I'm going to show you how to how to actually fit them properly, how to separate them a little bit. I'm going to move this here, and now I'm going to actually hide the collection of these shoes so they don't get in my way. Find your shoe collection here, the one that you exported from WolvenKit, and just press the I button here, and you can see they're gone. We can see the feet now. Now you're going to press this, and what you're going to do now is you're going to go to edit mode. Okay, and in edit mode, you are going to go to wireframe. So over here, you press this icon here. You're going to go to wireframe, and you're going to select all the vertices here with a select box. Right away, before we continue, a very important thing, guys. Vertex count matters a lot. So if your mesh has more than 65,000 vertices, WolvenKit will not be able to import it. Okay. So you can have a maximum of 65,000 vertices per submesh. So a submesh is, you can see, the way you can set up submeshes is you can have two shoes. Each of them is going to be one submesh, and they can all be 65K. So you can do like 130,000 vertices, right? And you can see here there's 4 submeshes, and each of these submeshes can be a maximum of 65,000. Just make sure you stay below that mark. 65,000 vertices for shoes would be a lot, so I don't know, try to get like, I'd say like 20,000 vertices maximum for shoes. 30 would be really pushing it, but we can do that as well. Anyways, back to editing our shoes. Again, as I said, you're going to choose this here. You can choose this one or that one, doesn't matter. So in edit mode, you're just going to, you can go back to solid mode, and you can start moving your mesh to fit it on the feet, or not necessarily on the feet, just anywhere you want. I'm not going to exactly like try to fit it perfectly. I'm just going to do it like this. It's pretty big. Actually, I think I might as well take this opportunity to teach you about sculpting a little bit. Yeah, this works. Okay, hold up. Okay, yeah. How about I'm going to teach you a bit about sculpting. So you can see that your mesh will not always perfectly fit on the body. And what you want to do in this situation is you want to go to sculpt mode, either sculpt mode or edit mode. In edit mode, you can use procedural editing, and procedural editing to edit this. You're going to hold. Okay, I actually forgot how to do it. My bad. But you can look up a guide on procedural editing. It's pretty easy. But I prefer to use sculpt mode myself. So I suggest using this because it's easier. So you go to sculpt mode, and the main tools that you're going to be using here is elastic deform and grab. Okay, also sometimes smooth maybe. So what you're gonna do here, grab elastic deform, and you can resize your brush by holding F and dragging it anywhere on the screen. So you can see I made it bigger, made it smaller. Just do this if you want to adjust your brush size. And you can see here I can move the mesh. So let me make this a bit smaller and adjust it like this, yeah, okay, like this, okay. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Like this, okay, perfect. Okay, not perfect, of course, but it's fine. And we're going to do the same with this shoe here. Again, go to edit mode. Make sure to go into object mode first. Always have your stuff selected. Go here, go to wireframe again, choose this, back to solid, move, and we're going to do, we're going to go through the same process. It's going to resize this. Okay, resize this a little bit and fit it on the foot. Sculpt. Just going through this real quick again, same way as last time. Pretty messy, but for the purposes of a tutorial, this should be good enough. Like this. Okay, you see, when you have small spots like this, you go to grab and you fix them like this. Okay, again, this is pretty messy, pretty ugly, but again, it's just a tutorial. You might want to make this a bit more, you might want to put a bit more love into this, so to speak. But for now, this is good enough. Now, what we're going to do is, now watch carefully, okay? We are going to, as this is going to be a single submesh, because as you can see, the vertex count here is not too high. Let me turn on the statistics here, actually. Statistics. Here, only 2,000 vertices, so I don't really need to split these up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide this for now and reveal our original shoes one more time. I'm going to combine all of these submeshes into a single submesh. This works. Yeah, okay, this is ideally what you want to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The mesh that is yellow is the parent mesh, so to speak. So you have like 3 orange ones here, which are slaves, I guess you can call it that. So this is a parent, these are slaves, and when you press Ctrl J, you can see they just all collapse into this one single mesh, and you can see all the groups have stayed intact as well. Now what you do here is you go to you press on these shoes again, you reveal your shoes, and you press this and you control click on this. Okay, I don't know. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, you control click this. Make sure this is yellow and not orange, and you go to weight paint here. Looks a bit scary, I know, but don't worry about it. This is going to be pretty easy. So you're going to click weights, and you're going to click on transfer weights. Over here, what you need to do is you need to press transfer mesh data, and here you press nearest face interpolated, and instead of active layer, you press by name, and you can see our shoes here have all the vertex groups that are necessary. Yeah, you can see here, we can just look over here real quick. You can see all of this is painted nicely. We're going to have no import problems, I'm sure. Okay, back to object mode. Now what you are going to do is you press here, and you go to edit mode. Let me hide this again. You press here, go to edit mode, and you're going to choose all of your vertices. You do it by pressing A on your keyboard, and you press delete and choose press delete, choose vertices. Okay, so now we just have a placeholder, an empty placeholder that we can join our shoes into, that has all the data that we need. Okay, reveal our shoes again, and control click on this. Make sure the mesh that you're joining is orange. Okay, the container has to be the parent, and you press Control J on your keyboard, and you can see we have replaced our mesh with the shoes that we're going to be using. Now we export, and make sure you export. Okay, no exporting yet. One very important thing. Okay, when you turn on wireframe, you can see this mesh is not, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's not triangulated. Okay, Cyberpunk only accepts, only works with meshes that are triangulated. I'm pretty sure all games are like this. So what we need to do is triangulate this mesh. You're going to choose your shoes. Okay, click on them, and you're going to click on this little wrench icon here that is modifiers. Now don't touch this. Don't touch this under any circumstance. Okay, just leave it as is. You're going to add a modifier, and over here you're going to search for triangulate. Okay, you can see this makes the mesh look a little bit ugly, but that's because this is extremely low poly, and that's the reason that it looks ugly like that during triangulation. If you have more vertices, I'm pretty sure that it's going to look better. Matter of fact, let me try and prove this by subdividing this subdivision surface. Okay, I'm going to subdivide it. I'm going to subdivide it twice. 35,000 verts should be good. Apply. Yeah, okay, just it says modifier can be applied with shape keys, but I'm going to delete them. You're not going to need to do that. This is just for showcase purposes. Delete the shape keys, press apply, and let's do triangulate now. You can see nothing changed pretty much. So yeah, if your triangulate modifier is making your mesh look ugly, just subdivide it, but make sure to not make it too dense, because like this here, this is very poorly optimized. Again, this is just an example, but don't do it like this. Basically, just make sure to keep your vertex count reasonable, and just make sure that your mesh has enough faces to not look ugly when triangulated. So over here, I'm going to press on cage, and I don't think this is triangulated actually. Maybe if I press apply, hold on. apply. Yeah, okay, you can see now this is actually triangulated. They're all tris now instead of quads. So yeah. What we're going to do now is we're going to export, okay? You don't need this. You don't need this. So you can just delete the body. I mean, it doesn't matter, you don't have to do it, but you know, just to keep it clean, I've done that. And what you're going to do now is you're going to choose the meshes that you want to export, okay? Right here I have only one submesh, but if I had several submeshes, I would actually I would choose both of them, because if you only choose one submesh, only that submesh gets exported. So what you do here is you press File, Export. After you've chosen all the submeshes that you need, you hit Export, Cyberpunk GLB, and you're going to name it, you're going to import into this, okay? Export. Okay, export it. And now we have our mesh over here. And you're going to go here, and this is very important, once again, you're going to put them in the same folder that you exported them into, okay? You can see it's open. I'm going to drop it here. And you can see it shows up right here. We're going to press Tools, Import Tool, Refresh, Shoe, High Heels, Import Selected. And you can see here, we have what we need over here, and you can see it's replaced. Now another very important thing that you need to understand: whenever you are importing your meshes, make sure that your mesh covers about the same body parts that the original mesh was covering, okay? So let's say if you have a shirt and you are importing shoes into it, you won't manage to do that because the shirt mesh doesn't contain the bones that are required for the movement of shoes, so WolvenKit won't let you import it. So you know, if you are doing gloves, make sure to be replacing vanilla gloves. If you're doing shoes, replace shoes. If you're doing I don't know, pants, replace pants. One of the best meshes to do that with is the Netrunner suit, because the Netrunner suit covers a lot of the body and has most of the bones. There are some mods out there that cover the entire body, so you know, if you're struggling with that, if your WolvenKit doesn't work, it doesn't want to import your mesh, it's probably because it has some missing bones. There are some mods on the Nexus that have, they're basically they're suits that cover the entire body, and you know, they have all the bones, so you can look around for those and you can import into those meshes, okay? I suggest to not do that often, because you're going to be carrying around a lot of useless bones, but you know, if you're desperate, you can use that method as well. I've used it myself personally for gloves, because I couldn't find some good gloves to replace, so I just took a skeleton from a mod that covered the entire body and replaced it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to set up a custom path, okay? So you can drag this here to feet, and you can actually rename this. Let's rename this something like, I don't know, shoes _ Converse, okay? Just give it a custom name. Next up, we have a scary graph here. A very scary graph, okay? Personally, I got scared shitless when I first saw this. This looks insanely complicated, and well, I'm not going to say that it is. It's a bit complicated, but just stay with me. We're going to follow through, and I'm going to make sure that you understand it. It's actually really easy when you're being guided through, okay? So first thing we are going to do is edit the YAML file that comes with the project. To edit YAML files, you need Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Okay, I forgot to mention it in the beginning, it's my bad, but you're going to need Visual Studio Code. Just download it anywhere, look up Visual Studio Code. I'm going to leave a link. You're going to go over here and you're going to open this up, okay? Press on the blue button and open that up, okay? So the way you're going to set this up works like this. Let's delete this. We don't need this. We're going to leave this one example here. Let's delete this comment as well. Don't need it. Once again, let's open the graph and consult the graph, so to speak. First thing we need to do here before okay, no, actually we just need to edit a few lines here for a custom path, okay? So entity name is the first one here that you're going to edit, okay? I'm going to write my custom shoes, okay, instead of shirt, just to keep it simple. My custom shoes. Next up, appearance name, you're going to write here appearance root entity white red, and just as it says this, I'm going to write shoes default. Display name, my shirt, localization name, white red, delete this, my shirt, localization name, shoes, or whatever you want, shoes default. Localized description, my shoes default. Don't ask me why I'm doing default every time. I'm just I just like the word default, I guess. But yeah, make sure all of these lines are edited to your preference. Yes, just make sure that it doesn't say shirt, it has to say whatever you want, okay? There's also this here that is pretty important. Basically, it's going to be responsible, this line here is going to be responsible for which inventory EX slot your mesh is going to be using in-game. So there's actually a list somewhere with all of these, with all of these lines that you can use. I'm going to leave a link in the description so that you can consult it and pick the slot that suits your clothing item best. I'm going to go for feet, so it says generic inner chest clothing. I'm going to go for generic feet clothing, all right? Generic feet clothing. Yes, okay. And we can just save this. Save. And we should be good. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go here and we are going to create a root entity, okay? We don't actually need to create one, there's already one here, so we're going to copy it, okay? Control C. You Control C this in the Windows Explorer, go to your folder here. We can delete this actually. Yeah, we can delete this folder just to keep it clean. We're going to go to this folder and we're going to Control V our root entity file. Sorry, my bad, I copied the wrong thing. Root entity, yes, copy this and paste it here. So now you have your root entity and you have your .mesh. You're going to click on this and you're going to press open this file, okay? Next, we're going to go back to the graph, and we are going to actually first, my bad, forget about the root entity for now. We're going to edit the CSV first. CSV is the first thing you need to edit, okay? You still have your root entity here, so it's fine, you know, it's the stuff that you need to make anyways, so you know, I show you that, so it's fine. Here you see you have a CSV, and sorry, we're going to expand this, and you can see it has here my custom shirt factory name. Okay, we're going to repath this to my custom shoes, or whatever I called it, right? So you can see here we have the CSV file in the graph. It says my custom shirt factory name, right, in this line. What we're going to do is go back to our studio code and see what you called it here. You call it my custom shoes factory name. You just copy this line and paste it here. This one is, this next line is the link to your root entity file that we just created, okay? And what you're going to do is you are going to repath this, all right? So before we do this, let's make sure that we rename this, okay? You don't want this to be named tutorial, because if you're going to be posting it, other people are going to be confused when they unpack your file, like what does it say tutorial? It's not a tutorial. You go here, you rename this, we're going to rename tutorial to anything. Let's just rename it to I don't know, something. Let's just call it project, I guess, okay? Anything you want, just call it anything. Project. And what we're going to do next, we're going to press on our root entity file over here, and we are going to copy the relative path, okay? Relative path, copy this, Control C, paste it into here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what we need. Yes, or hold up a sec. I'm sorry. I need to be sure. I'm just gonna reset this. My bad. Yeah, tutorial and torso, my custom shirt, root entity. Okay, so we're going to do this. As I said, relative path. Project, it says project torso, this is the wrong one. Project feet, okay. Project feet, root entity. Just choose the one that you have in the same file as your mesh. And again, here my custom shirt, it's not my custom shirt, it's my custom shoes. Sorry, we had to do that twice, my bad. Okay, hit save. This button, it saves only the file that you're editing at the moment, not your entire project. So you're going to press save here, and you should be good. Next up, we're going to edit our root entity, okay? So back to root entity, open this, and what we need to do is, since we have only one mesh, we are going to delete this, the second appearance here. I mean, you know, depending on how many meshes you have, you might need more, but I actually prefer to do one per root entity. I don't know why this is not moving. So yeah, as I said, one per root entity. You're going to delete this. Delete button doesn't work. Delete item in array. you're going to press what I just pressed, and you're going to be left with one appearance here, all right? Yeah, just one appearance. And again, let's consult the graph and see what we have here. So root entity.ent, here we have it, and you can see this is actually connected to the CSV. So we already connected this to the CSV. However, over here we also need to make we also need to make an edit here in the Archivexl file. Okay, so open this, and here it says my shirt factory, right? We're going to make it custom. So it says my shirt factory over here. We are going to rename it to we're going to rename the CSV, okay? Rename the CSV just to keep it clean. If you're going to post this, obviously press rename my shirt factory. We're going to rename it to my shoes factory. My shoes factory CSV, finish. And we're going to rename it here as well, my shoes factory instead of my shirt factory. Okay. Save this, should be good. As you can see, the graph matches, everything's fine. Next up, we're going to once again go back to our root entity, and you see here we have name, the name row here. You can see it's matching with, sorry about that. Yeah, you can see it's matching with our appearance name graph in the YAML that I accidentally just closed. Let me just open this up real quick one more time. Open this up and copy this. Okay, entity name, my custom shoes factory name. Over here, make sure it's correct. Entity name. No, okay, sorry, not entity name. It's going to actually be, okay, name is going to be appearance name, okay? The appearance name line over here. Copy this, not the entire thing, just this. Copy this, go back to our root entity, and paste it, okay? Paste it into the name column, name row here. Appearance root entity shoes default. Okay. Looks good. So this is all set up. You're also going to rename these two. Let's go back to the graph, and you can see this is connected to the appearance file that we're going to be opening soon enough. Just make sure to rename this to your preferred name, all right? So appearance name, we're going to call it, so it says here what appearance name, we'll call it something like Converse appearance name, okay? Converse appearance name, all right? And this is going to go to this appearance file here that actually doesn't exist right now because we renamed it to tutorial. We named this tutorial folder here to project. So what you're going to do here, replace this. Project torso. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as torso for now. You can repath all of this stuff later. Yeah, just make sure this points to this relative path, okay? As you can see here, project torso. So open this. Okay, it doesn't exist apparently, I made a mistake. Just go here, relative path, copy this, paste it here, open it up. Okay, don't need this. We just need one appearance, as I said, because we have one item. Delete item in array buffer. And first thing you're going to do here is delete this override. Okay, just delete this. You don't really need this, just reset object, keep this clean. And the next thing that we're going to need is go back to the graph. So we renamed our stuff here, right? In the root entity. Let's see what we renamed it to. We renamed it to converse appearance name. Just save this, make sure it's saved. Same here. This is fine. We're going to clean this up later. Don't worry about this. So we have our appearance name over here that we're going to be putting in here. Okay, so see appearance name, and in the app file, it's in this array. It's in you just expand this, expand your appearance. I'm sorry, I keep clicking the wrong fucking Windows. My bad about that. Name over here, name. You're going to go back to a root entity, copy this, put it here. Okay. Next is parts overrides. I think I accidentally deleted the parts overrides array here, but it's no problem. Just create new item here. Again, over here, one more time, click on this, create new item, and you're good. So over here, we go to component name. We type here what we have in our graph. Actually, we type again whatever here, whatever we want. So we're going to type again. I'm going to type converse default. Okay. And then we go to parts values. Parts values. And you can see here this points to a mesh entity. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to create our mesh entity. Well, I mean copy it, but it doesn't matter. All you need is a mesh entity. Okay. So over here, you can see in the my custom short folder, there is a mesh entity. Going to open this mesh entity, copy. Control C, copy this. Go back to your the folder where you have your your shit, basically your mesh. Paste it in here, and you can see you have your own mesh entity now set up. What you're going to do now, click on this relative path, copy, put it here. Make sure this references your mesh entity that's corresponding to your mesh. Okay, open this, save, make sure to save. And you can close this now. You can close these two. No, you can't do that, sorry. Okay, so back to our mesh entity here. You don't need all the stuff. Delete this, delete selection. This is all you need. All right, now back to the graph, mesh entity. All right, so here in parts values, we already made sure that it's pointing to our mesh entity. Okay, so we copied the relative path. This is fine. Now you expand this array here. So T1 custom shirt, expand. All right, so I might be having some more stuff here that that you might not have, don't worry about it. Just edit the same rows that I'm editing. You should be fine. It's because my WolvenKit is in advanced Explorer mode. Because I've been making some more complicated mods, so I needed that. Yours is going to be, it's going to have less arrays in it, but it's going to have all the same ones as I do. So just edit all the same ones that I'm editing. Okay, so back to the graph, as I said. Mesh entity, and we are going to look for the mesh array here. Okay, now first we're going to look for name. We're going to put the same component name over here as we have in our app file. So back to app. What do we put here? In component overrides. Looks good. Converse default. Okay. And you're going to put this into name. Where is it? It's in, okay. Name, yep, here. Converse default, all right. Mesh appearance, I don't think this is necessary to edit. Yeah, no, okay, this is necessary to edit, sorry. But we will edit this later, a bit later. Now, the mesh, okay, this is important. This is actually like one of the last ones, so your mesh entity has to point to your mesh file, all right? So what you're going to do here is you are going to go back to our WolvenKit and click on your mesh file, and here instead of mesh, click properties, copy your relative path, put it here. Okay, now open this, and all of this stuff here, for now just forget about this. Appearances, materials, forget about this stuff, okay? You don't need it. For now you don't need it. We're going to need it soon, but not now. First let's complete the graph. Yes. Now, mesh appearance, you're going to match the name once again, right? Go back to your mesh entity. We're going to call this converse default once more. Converse default. All right. Save this. Ignore these warnings for now because we're in the process of editing, and it's normal that it throws some errors at us, that's fine. Next we're going to go to shoes, again to our mesh, and we're going to set up a name in appearances. So we just need one appearance here, okay? As I said, we need this now. Delete all this stuff, delete item and array buffer, sorry, delete selection, my bad. Delete selection. Okay, here we have default. Name, it says name default. It doesn't need to be called default, it needs to be called converse default, okay? Because that's what we named it in our mesh entity. Converse default, okay. Now, this here is going to be used for setting up textures later, but for now, just forget it. We're going to close this, and close this. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a description and a name for our custom file, okay? For our custom item. So we're also going to do an icon later, but that's for later. Again, let's open up the graph, scroll up, and tutorial torso translation strings, okay? You have this file here, translation strings JSON. Open it. Delete this, delete item, and you will be left with two entries here, okay? So my shirt localization name and my short localization description. So this one is for your item's name, and this is for your item's description. What we're gonna do here, open this up. You can see it has a okay, I don't know why this has a description. Oh, okay, so they have a male variant and a female variant. I'm going to be doing female only. Yeah, I'm going to be doing female only, so we're going to be only editing female variant here. Here, just leave this. Delete this as well. And secondary key here is going to match with your YAML file entry that is over here. Display name, okay? My short localization name shows default. This is what you're going to copy over here. Fuck my life, Jesus. Okay, here. Paste this here. And female variant, we're going to call it Converse troops. Okay. This is what are going to be called in game, and this is what the description is going to look like. Okay. Once again, secondary key here is going to be a bit different. It's going to be localized description. So you're going to copy this, paste it here, and we can actually edit this. I don't know, just write something. I'm going to write anything. I'm just going to write stylish kicks, I guess, or like this. Save. Okay. This is going to be your description. This is going to be your name. Okay. That should be it for the naming and the descriptions. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our textures. Actually, you see here, delete this. These are multi-layer setups. I'm going to explain a little bit. So Cyberpunk uses a different way of reading textures than most games do. It's using multi-layer setups, which are like layers that go onto the mesh that in the end create a picture, kind of like an albedo map. This is done for optimization, but there is a way to use traditional albedo normal roughness maps, which is exactly what we're going to be doing today. If you have your maps, your traditional maps, albedo metallic on hand, you can use those. But if you're making an item from scratch, you can make your own multi-layer setups. I don't know how to do that, never done that. You can look up guides. Again, join the Discord. You can ask people there how to make multi-layer setups, but for now, we are going to be using maps, okay? So we're going to delete this. We don't need this. Delete all three. I'm also going to be cleaning up this shirt and everything later. For now, I'm just going to leave this as is. We're going to go to shit. Yeah, okay. This is fine. Yeah, this is okay. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to create a little folder. So archive project. Okay, let me actually see what the path for this is. Project torso. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I'm going to call it project. This should be called project. Rename it project. All right. And the relative path for this is torso, my custom shirt, textures. So we're going to my custom shirt, create here, textures. Okay. Now I'm going to go and find my maps. Example mesh here. I have my folder set up, textures. Okay, so this is albedo, metallic, normal, roughness. Okay, just copy all of this. Make sure that it's okay. So basically, Cyberpunk supports only albedo, metallic, normal, roughness. I think height and also emission maps. So there's not a lot of formats it supports. So you can't use something like an AO map or a displacement map. So just make sure to keep it simple, okay? Like nothing crazy. Just stuff like metallic, albedo, the stuff that I just described. So I'm gonna drop this here in textures. So you can see that we have this stuff. What we're going to do is go back to WolvenKit, tools, import tool. And import all of this stuff, okay? Make sure to do it one by one because we'll have to edit the settings here. So here, albedo. Transparency from alpha channel. You can take this if your albedo maps have transparency. You can take this. If they don't, just don't touch it. Import selected. Okay, you can see here XBM. This is the format that Cyberpunk uses, the Cyberpunk can use, and this is what the WolvenKit converts it to. You can't use just straight up JPEGs or PNGs. You have to convert them to XBM via import. So next up, metallic. So here you can see it has generic color, right? But if we see here, if we look over here, this is grayscale, this is black and white. So we are going to choose generic color, not generic color, generic grayscale because it's grayscale. sRGB, it's not sRGB, so again it's grayscale, so we don't tick this. We don't tick transparency either. Import. Okay, next up, normal. Again, it says generic color. Don't choose generic color, choose generic normal. Same settings, import. And for roughness, we're going to do grayscale once again. Okay, all of our maps are here. Now we open our... So here in the mesh file, what you're going to do is you're going to expand appearances. And well, you can see we already have just one appearance here that we set up earlier. We're going to delete all these submesh entries because we don't need them. We only have one submesh, so you're only gonna need one. You're going to rename it to something like Converse default, depending on what you have. Again, you can name it anything you want. So Converse default 00. Next, we're going to go to local material buffer over here. And we're going to delete all the entries here except one. So delete this, delete item and array buffer, delete selection, sorry. And over here, we're going to clear values here. So reset object, values array should be clear, as well as base material. Clear this, we don't need this for now. And now we are going to move to material entries. We're going to delete all of this stuff here, okay? Just all of it. Right click, delete selection. And here, oh, yeah, okay. And in material entries here, you're going to create a new item, and you're going to tick is local instance true. Now, this is very important, all right? Every material that you have here, every material entry that you have here, every instance that you have here needs to have a entry corresponding to it with a corresponding index. Okay, so this has index 0, and this also has index 0, but I can choose the index here. You can see 1, 2, 3, right? So if I had 3 materials here, I would have index 0, 1, 2, 3. Matter of fact, let me show you. I'm gonna create C material instance, okay? Yeah, and you can see here we have a material instance. It has 1, okay? Now I can choose 1 here, and it's going to be corresponding to this, all right? So again, if you have several material entries, you are going to make them corresponding to each other, right? If you have like several of them, again, 1, if you have another entry here, you're going to choose 1 for this index, okay? I'm going to choose 0 because I just have 1, I don't have 2. Okay, 0. Here, delete this, don't need this, this is just for a showcase. Delete, index 0, name, gonna name this same thing as here, converse default, and you can see here this works. Now, to use our maps, we are going to need a base material here that is called metalbase.rent. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look for it in our asset browser, okay? So just right here, metal underscore base. Is that a double underscore? Yeah, okay. Metal base rent. There it is. We're going to get this relative path here. Full name, yeah, full name works. Engine materials, metal base. This totally works. Yeah, absolutely. And over here, again, you're going to click find files using this. Okay, this is important, so make sure to follow. Find files using this. Okay, apparently I don't have some kind of fucking plugin not installed. I'm going to install this. Oh my god, I don't have half of the plugins installed for some reason. Jesus. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Right, okay, we can go back now. Yeah, we can go back and we can make sure you have all the add-ons installed, okay? Find files using this. Okay, it says whatever. Okay, so you can see there's a Lina poster here. We're going to open this without adding to project. We're going to go to local material buffer once again, and we're going to go to values. Okay, you see it has everything we need. Okay, not everything, but we're going to add some stuff too. Copy array contents, go back here and go to values, go to values and paste selection to array buffer. Okay, clear all the stuff. we're also going to add one more here, a CK value pair. We're going to add it. Let me find CK. The fuck. Okay, I don't know. Just copy this, then copy from array buffer, paste into array buffer. Okay, you can see we have two base colors now, but this is not going to be base color. This is going to be metallic. So we're going to rename this to metalness. You can look up all of the properties of this metal-based material on the wiki. Just, look it up, go on the wiki, look up material properties, you're going to find it, okay? So, but for now, all we have is base color, roughness, normal, and metalness. You see, there's also a normal strength parameter here. It's set to 1.5. This is basically just normal strength. If you like stronger normals and stronger normal maps on your mesh, you can leave this at 1.5, but I'm just going to do 1 for the purposes of this. It's 1. Yeah, should be good. Now what you're going to do is base color. You're going to put your albedo here, relative path, copy the relative path, put it here to depot path. Now go to roughness, properties, relative path. Just do this for every single one of them, okay? Normal. Okay. And metallic. Looks good. And this honestly should be it. I think everything is set up correctly, and we can go to our game and try it out, basically. So let's save this here. Okay, let me just double check plugins here. Okay, everything is installed very well. Gonna go back to our project, and here first of all, before installing your mod, you're going to go to project configuration, and mod name, just put a like this thing here to make sure that it overwrites everything that just to make sure it doesn't get overwritten by anything. Okay, save this, save, and I'll see you in the game. Okay, guys. Okay, sorry, not in the game yet. I've made a few mistakes, and try to follow me and fix them as well. Okay, so first of all, open your YAML file again. Open it. And here you see I wrote generic feet clothing, but it should be generic foot clothing. So make sure this is correct, otherwise you won't be getting any items whatsoever. And over here we can also change the name, so I'll just rename it to my custom shoes. Okay, save this. And there was also a mistake in the Archivexl file over here. Archivexl. So over here, make sure to change these paths as well, because here it said tutorial instead of project. So make sure it's the same, like the same path as you have set up. Okay, and after you're done with this, you're gonna hit build. You're going to hit install and launch, and now I'm gonna see you in game. Okay, so we're in game here. What you're going to do now is you're going to open your Cyber Engine Tweaks console. Okay, I have mine bounded to home button over here. You're going to paste a code like this, game add to inventory, with the item tag from your YAML file, and it says my custom shirt, or we're going to do my custom shoes. Delete this, and we should be getting our item now. Yep, got it. you can see here that I have a mod installed that I didn't release yet. I will be releasing it soon, right after I do the guides that people have been asking me to do. But we're going to go to our equipment EX here, and we are going to look for our item here, which is this. You see it does not have an icon just yet because we didn't set one up. We're going to do this right now, but you can see our name is here, our description is here. Let's put these on, and you can see it works perfectly fine. They're looking great. They're following the feet, and I love them. They look great. So if you follow through, you should have a similar result. But obviously, no icon won't do. So I'll see you in Blender, where we're going to start setting up our custom icon. So we're back in Blender, and we have these shoes here. And we're going to make a render and apply some textures to make your new icon. So we're going to go to shading. We're going to press new. If there is going to be like a material here already, you're just going to press X here, create new, and we are going to get our textures right here, and you're just going to drag and drop them. Or you can use the Node Wrangler add-on, but for me it doesn't really work, so I have to do this. And let's sort these out a bit. So this goes on top, albedo goes on top, metallic goes here, roughness here, and normal here. Everything that's not albedo should have non-color here, not sRGB, okay? The only one that should be sRGB is here, albedo. This is the only one, so if any of these are sRGB, change them to non-color. Now you're going to take color and plug this into base color. I'm going to take metallic, plug into metallic. Shit, sorry. Yeah, okay. Next is roughness. Plug this here. And normal map is a bit harder. You're going to right click here, on an empty space. You're going to press add, and then you're going to find vector, and in vector you'll find normal map. Okay, so color goes here, normal goes here. Now if you want, you can add a bit more normal if you enjoy that type of thing, but I'll just leave it at 1. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to switch to viewport shading material preview here, and we're going to adjust the position a little bit, make them look a bit better, like group them up, so kind of like this, not like this. Okay, looks good. Yeah, okay. What we're gonna do now is we're going to make a camera. So we're going to press Shift A, and after that you're going to find camera here. Okay, so here's our camera, and you're going to press numpad 0, and this is going to put you into it's going to make the camera view your viewport view, basically. And you'll also have to check camera to view here in the view panel, so it follows your your camera movements. You see, if you don't have it checked, it's just going to do this, and you don't want this, so keep it checked. Sorry. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do now is maybe put them a bit higher, rotate them a little bit, just make them look nice, like give a nice perspective, kinda. Zoom in. Okay, you can actually zoom in like more finely if you want, if you press Control and mouse wheel and you drag the button. It's going to give you a more fine tuning of your camera. So do that, just do a shot that you like, And you see now we have to switch to the render view here. Viewport shading, render view. And you can already see I have a bit of lighting here set up. This is because of the world lighting in this tab. You know, you can see it's kind of green. Let's put it back to white for now. Let's actually just put it to black, you know, because this is this is about what they're going to look like when you know, when you press on the render button, because you haven't done anything here yet. So we're going to set up some lighting so that they actually look good. Now, how about so you're going to press Shift A again, and you choose light, and you press area, or area lights work the best for this. So you take it like this, you move it around, and you just point it like this. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can set up several lights, and you can also change the settings of the light. So you have to choose this and go to this bulb icon here, and you can change the color and the intensity as well. So you can do something like this, but this doesn't look good, so let's just revert back to default. Okay, so I think this looks okay. And yeah, in the world settings you can also add like a tint if you want to. So you know, you can add like a greenish tint or a bluish tint, and you can control the intensity like this. I guess they can be like, I don't know, like a bit more orange like this. I think this actually looks good. Now you're going to go to your render settings here, and you are going to configure, first you're going to go to output. You're going to configure your camera resolution, okay? Here I've done render earlier, but you're going to render in 160 by 160. This is very important. Don't go above that, just go 160 by 160. It should be good. And now you're going to go to render settings, go to film, film over here, and make sure transparent is checked, because otherwise you'll be getting this background and you don't want it. Just do transparent. In the render settings, make sure it's GPU compute, not CPU. And max samples, this is basically how many runs the engine is going to do. And you know, the more it does, the better. But 2048 should be fine for an image of this size, because it's going to be really small, 160 by 160. Noise threshold, you can check this, you can leave this unchecked. I prefer like a bit better quality. It's not going to take long anyways, and you know, I also use a denoiser. Don't use optics. Open image denoise is way better. Just always use open image denoise. And that's it. I think we can do this. We can just go to switch back to solid mode, and now we're going to go to render over here and press render image, not render animation, render image. So we're going to press this, and you can see our icon has rendered in only a few seconds. Now we're going to save as. I'm going to save it here. Just call it something like shoe icon. Save it. Okay. And what we have to do now is we have to download an example PSD file from the wiki, which I'm going to leave in the description. So here's the page. I'm going to leave the link, as I said. Just download this, and you should have your... Oh, I already had this actually, but it's fine. I'll just use the new one. Yeah, so you're going to have this file. Open it like this. And what you're going to do next is you're just going to paste this image over these blue lines right here. So this is going to be your first slot. You know, this is second, third, fourth. You know, they just make sure it's in the middle of these blue lines. Okay. First off, let's delete these these rows, which I don't think look that good. Yeah, I think they look pretty bad, so you wouldn't want them in your project. So now you're going to put this here, and you can see it matches perfectly, it matches the size. So you're going to adjust it, put it here, over here. This is slot 1. This is slot 2, slot 3, but your item is using slot 1, so make sure it fits with the first slot. Okay, you see here it's perfect pretty much, and we can export this now. Okay, yeah, just hit export, a quick export to PNG. Yes. Okay, and now we're going to do a bit more repathing. So what you're going to do first is open your YAML file and make sure this path is correct. Okay, in my case it's incorrect because I changed tutorial to project, so I'll type project here, make sure this is correct, otherwise you won't be getting an icon. You hit save. Shit. Hit save. Yeah, and now you can close this, and here you will open your Ink Atlas file. You will open this and also repath everything here. Don't touch these. Actually, no, you have to touch these. Just hide the parts, and here texture. Change tutorial to whatever you renamed, or just make sure the path is correct. The path to the preview icons XBM is correct to this file. Okay, so it's not tutorials project. Project. Same here. Save this. Save. Okay, and now we're going to go to our exported folder. I've already tried before. You see, this isn't the first take. I haven't had good luck with this before. I need to remember some stuff, so I'm gonna have to replace this with a proper one. Rename. Okay, it looks good. Let's double check. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. And now this is important. Press import, refresh. Preview icons, and you're going to choose generic UI here, not generic color. Make sure it's generic UI, and transparency from alpha channel needs to be checked. Now import this. Let's see. Yep, looks good. And now we can check it in game. Okay, so you can see here the preview icon works. That should really be it for importing items, for importing clothes. Of course, there's a lot more nuance, a lot more things I didn't explain here. I explained just the basics, but if I'm going to explain everything, this is going to turn into a whole series, like a course almost. For modding Cyberpunk, which I don't know if I want to do, to be honest. But regardless, if you have any questions, make sure to join with the Cyberpunk Discord. Sorry, I mean the WolvenKit Discord. Make sure to join that, ask your questions there. Maybe I will see your message, maybe someone else will see your message, and we'll try our best to help you out. I don't think there is really much left to say. Well, of course, you will also need, after you're done with this, you will also need to, custom path everything. You have to make sure that the files themselves don't look like they've been taken from a tutorial project. Just to be clear, manavortex allows people to take that project, and she encourages it. But when I was making it, she told me that I have to make it not look like it's a tutorial project. Okay, so make sure to rename all the folders, make sure to rename all the paths, and you should be good. Just make sure that if you're renaming something, you're renaming it on the other end as well, to make sure that there will be no breaking, like no bugs, and that your mod will just work properly. I would record that as well, but it's a really monotonous process that doesn't really benefit from being recorded. It's just something that you have to do yourself, really. But anyway, thanks for being here with me. I hope you learned something. Again, any questions, join the Discord. We'll try our best to help. Take care, guys.